Hello, welcome to my channel House of Leo. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these really cute crochet magnetic needle minders. They're absolutely adorable. You can make them in any colour or size you like. Let's get started. So to make this project, what you are going to need is a crochet hook, some yarn in the size that you desire, a sewing needle, a button that you would like the size of your centre to be, preferably one with a dip in it so your magnet can sit into the dip, a magnet, some scissors and some scrap fabric, and a glue gun. My glue gun doesn't quite reach with the cable, so I'll keep that just to the side there. But if you've got all these things, you can make one of these. So let's get going. Okay, so to start, what I've done is I have cut my scrap of fabric to be just a little bit larger than my button, and we are now going to glue gun our magnet to the center of our button. I have to just do the glue off screen because my cable doesn't reach. Just a little blob of glue in the middle there, and place your magnet in the center. Try not to burn your fingers. Now we are going to take needle and thread, and we are going to weave in and out around the edge of your fabric circle. Continue all the way around. I'm going to do that off camera and I shall come back to you in a moment. Okay, so I have gone all the way around. I'm going to pop my button in there with the magnet facing down, and I'm going to pull that tight without snapping the thread. You can see the button is tucked away in there. There's a little crease there. I'll have to fix that. Just make it even all the way around. Yes, there we are. That looks cute. And to secure it, I like to just thread through and just keep going round. Excuse me. All the way through to the other side. I'm just going to keep sort of randomly placing it, pushing it through to the other side until I've used up all my threads, so it's really nice and secure. So I shall continue to do that, and then we shall start the crochet bit. So I've got some scraps here. I think I'm going to go with, for this one, I'm going to go with these two colours because I think that looks quite sweet. So I'll put those aside. Start with the orange. I haven't got much, so you see you don't need much to create this project. So we're going to create our loop. For this one I'm using a 5mm and DK yarn, but you can definitely use smaller. I actually think the smaller look really sweet. But for purposes of showing you what I'm doing, I'm making a bigger one. So I'm going to chain 4 and then make a loop by going into the first chain, pulling up a loop, and chain 2. So crocheting into that loop, we are going to do a treble UK or double US into the center of your loop, keeping your tail end along so you're crocheting over your tail end. We're going to do 12 of these. So if we include our chain, we'll be doing 11 stitches, and that includes our chain. We'll create 12. So I shall come back to you when I have 12 all the way around. So I've made it all the way around. We have 12. That includes our chain at the beginning. I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch from the row, from that row, closing our circle. You can pull your tail end, and that keeps, because you've crocheted over it, that pulls it nice and tight. We're going to chain 2. Now into that same stitch, we are now going to do a treble UK or a double US into there. So you have your chain and a treble. I'm going to use UK terms. Next stitch along, we do another treble. We chain 2 and we slip stitch into the same space. So what we have here is a chain, a treble, next stitch along, a treble and a chain with a slip stitch. This creates the petal. So the next one along, do a slip stitch, chain 2 and a treble into the same space. Next stitch along, a treble, chain 2, slip stitch. That's petal number 2. Slip stitch in the next one along, chain 2, treble, next stitch, treble, chain 2, slip stitch. So I've created 3 petals so far. I shall continue round if you want to pause it and catch up with me now. I'll get back to you in a moment. So I have snipped and weaved in my ends. There are 6 petals in total, and this is how your flower should look. We're now going to start to attach the next colour. The next colour is the one that is behind. So if I show you the back of this one, we are creating loops to start with, and then we work into the loops to create the petals. So I shall take my next colour. To create the loops, I'm going to look at the back of our work, and we want to go into the centre of your petal. You will find that there is a stitch there that you can work into. I find it a little tricky to get into, so I use my hook, like a hook, and to pull up that stitch. We're going to slip stitch into that stitch there, and then we shall chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Go along to your next petal, find that stitch at the back in the middle and go into there. This is fiddly, so take your time. Slip stitch into there and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Next petal along. See, I'm sort of bending the petal down because it just gives me access to this stitch that's right behind. Slip stitch, 1, 2, 3 chains, continue that around. So I shall continue round, and when I get to the end I shall show you where to go from there. Okay, so I've gone all the way around and we have created 6 loops behind each petal. We are now going to repeat a similar pattern to the petals before, so we're going to chain 2. This time I'm going to treble 3. 2, 3. We're going to chain 2 and slip stitch all into the same space. So you slip stitch closed, chained 2, 3 trebles, chain 2, slip stitch, closed, slip stitch into your next one, chain 2, 3 trebles, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, slip stitch. You can see that those petals are sitting nicely behind the front ones. Slip stitch into the next chain space, chain 2, 3 trebles, this is a great way of using up your scraps, and I shall explain different ways of using them once they're finished. So I did my 3 trebles, I chained 2, and I'm going to slip stitch all into that same space. So that's 3 petals complete. I shall continue round and show you when I get to the end. So I did my last slip stitch into this last stitch here, and now I'm just going to weave in my ends at the back. And you can see this flower is sort of floating on top of the one on the other side, and that gives you this lovely 3D effect ready for its centre. So now we have our flower complete. We just need to glue gun our centre into there. So I'm going to put a blob of glue on there. And just place it directly into the centre of your flower. And there you have a really cute needle minder, and because it's magnetic you just pop your needle on there and it will keep it safe for you. So with these you can do lots of different things with them. You can pop them on an elastic, wear them around your wrist while you're working. You know that your needle or your pins are always there. I have one, this is my yarn bowl that I keep on my desk, and I put my yarn tail ends in, and I have just created a simple chain on the, just attached to 2 of the top petals there, and tied it to my yarn bowl. You can tie it in a similar way or use an elastic and have it attached to your sewing machine. And I have also stitched one to the inside of my project bag that I take when I travel about. So when I open up my project bag, one is stitched at the top there with all my needles just merrily. They're strong magnets, they really stay put. I can carry my project bag about and they are always right where I put them. I just think they're so pretty, so useful. They'd make lovely gifts for people who sew or do needlecraft or who crochet. So there we are. I hope you enjoy making them. The colours and size options are endless. I personally prefer these little ones. This one is my favourite. I just think it's so cute. So yeah, there we are. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I really hope you enjoy making these. I will link below with any products that I've used that you will find useful. So go check those out. My website's linked below. All my bits and bobs are linked below. If you could like and subscribe and all those things, that always helps out the YouTube channel to grow. So thank you so much, guys. I look forward to our next tutorial. See you again.